Chief Whip, may we...
No, thanks, Chair. I'm going to try and be, Dr. Diaz, I want us to work together very efficiently. That's my appeal. So that we can finish in the next 10 minutes.
Please.
The first question I want to ask you, when you did your master's, which is your highest qualification, what was the topic of that master's? What did you focus on your research?
Changing patterns of black marriage and divorce in Durban. It's 350 pages long, based on many hours of participant observation and every other possible. You couldn't do coursework masters. You see, you don't realize that coursework masters.
Yeah, you answered.
Yeah.
You are done now. Yeah, you're done.
Famous research.
No, we are done. Okay. I wanted to know.
To explain that.
So your highest qualification research formally was about changing patterns on black marriages.
So I've got a lot of stuff published in peer-reviewed journals.
Okay. So at what point did you start immersing yourself on the security matters?
Okay, I tried to explain that. I was pulled into it because people that I was working with in research, whether it was on marriage or Shabeens or whatever, I'd done reports for the Human Sciences Research Council. They'd given me funding, and that was what was distracting me. In fact, the Human Sciences Research Council wanted to publish my book on marriage, and I never had time to do that either. So all these people that I was making contact with through research were coming to me and saying, we're getting attacked. And anthropological research is reciprocal because you spend a lot of time with people, they give you at their time, they help you, and you give back. You give back to them, and this was my giving back. Okay, I'll see what I could do about all these attacks on you. And that started it. It's not something I ever chose to do research on.
Okay, but my question was, at what point?
Well, whenever the violence started taking off, 1983, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, particularly 83.
Okay. I just want to understand this on your statement, the main statement, the witness statement. I think that's what it's called. I usually refer to as a main statement.
Yeah.
And maybe before I draw your attention to the paragraph I wanted to talk about. What's your understanding of the qualifications of Lieutenant General Kuman?
All I know is it's fairly well established that he had qualified, and I don't know if it was SAP or after the KwaZulu Police was formed. He was definitely in the KwaZulu Police. I think he probably had qualifications from the SAP. And if that was the case, they would take people, well, they didn't always take people with matrics. I can remember somebody was complaining to me, but he would have had the same training as the ordinary SAP South African police that didn't join one of the homelands. And then his next, and different people, including Philip Mhlongo, who'd canvassed, I gather, in the portfolio committee when they were getting complaints about him, said, well, he'd actually been deployed as guarding duties, which means he was operational response. And then somebody who was integrated into crime intelligence from the SAP said, well, I can remember him from the latter 90s when we were integrated, and he was doing some administrative work for intelligence then. Which was, he said that he wasn't operative. But he said he wasn't there long. He then went off to operational response. And I gather that was where he was for most of the time, apart from the deployment briefly to intelligence when Mkhwanazi was National Commissioner. And of course, my information was that although he was deployed to the task team, he was still basically operational response. That was what I was told by a very senior person at the time. of the establishment, or since the establishment, I can't remember. When.
Okay. On your statement, 17.2, paragraph 17.2, you are saying a lot about the PKTT being irregular. Which laws were violated by the formation of the PKTT?
It's not just, look.
Or is irregular in what sense?
It's irregular in terms of any detective team I've ever come across, because a detective team, by its very objectives, is composed of detectives. I mean, it stands to reason that you get someone who's a detective, and I've tried to give you an example of the sorts of structures that were in place after the end of apartheid.
So it's your contention that the 126 people you are concerned about as a number were without dictative capabilities?
Well, not senior, I gather, because the senior guy soon left. Initially there was a senior detective. I'm concerned about the number, because why do you need such a big number of people in one province? I mean, even the investigative task team had about 30 people in, I think.
But did you,
necessary even.
Did you spend time as a researcher to make an inquiry about what is the work of the team of such a big size? Or you concluded that because in the past teams were never constituted to such a number, therefore automatically this one is irregular?
Oh no, it wasn't the number per se. It was the strange structure of it, that you had it. As I said, it was not supposed to be. It was supposed to report nationally, and that wasn't maintained. But the province was the reports through the provincial commissioner, and with a senior detective overseeing the junior ones. That was the way it was set up. But then it soon changed.
So the irregular part is that it was reporting to the province or national. I didn't get you on that.
The reports to the national fell away, although it had been set up to be overseen through reports by the head of detectives now.
How did it fall away? Because you still have a coordinator who is occupying a national position, a substantive position at a national level.
Well, this is what I don't understand, because the man who took over from the first one was called Mfazi. He occupied that position, and it's impossible to check because he died of poisoning, actually. But that's beside the point, but he's dead. And this can be canvassed about. I was told that the first one was very good and insisted on all the reports. So it's quite possible that he didn't bother to follow up. I don't know. I'm speculating. All I know is that I was told definitely that the reporting line ended with the deputy national.
We have been told by various witnesses who came before, especially from the police department, that one of the major value of having members of a task team coming from different parts of the country and the times being changed regularly so that they don't stay too long in one area is to protect them against local influence. And somewhere in your statement, you also make references to police being prone, and I'm paraphrasing you in this case, police being prone to corrupt activities or their conduct resulting in the state spending a lot of money on civil claims.
Well, they did.
So why do you see a problem then with the establishment of a team whose composition is also designed to mitigate against what we are complaining about as a usual practice in various...
It can be used for all sorts of purposes. It may be the ostensible excuse, but if you can check the records of detectives. If they have a record where they've got high court convictions, where they do well, you're pretty safe with them. And some of those people were deployed initially to the task team, and they were removed the minute they started making uncomfortable, when I say uncomfortable, politically uncomfortable arrests, like the mayor of Newcastle, for example. The man who was seconded to that, who is an excellent detective, got out of it because they didn't want him, basically. And the charges were withdrawn against the mayor of Newcastle too, by whoever, prosecutor, whatever. But they were withdrawn and the witness died.
Okay. My last question, you are making reference, I think this is paragraph 17.1, when you were arguing that there was a let me just read it verbatim. On sentence number 2, as the task team that was being formed, the provincial team was securing a conviction for the murder of the Ramaphosa supporter whose name was top on the hit list, blah, blah, blah. Have you ever been a member of the ANC?
No. Oh, hang on. I joined very briefly, but I didn't stay. And that was in 1990 when one of my colleagues, the whole university was going mad on this. Oh, Mandela's out, and you've been calling, because at one stage we had a petition calling for the release of Mandela in the 80s. How can you not join the ANC? All right, I said, but I didn't keep it up. I didn't renew it. I didn't go to meetings. I mean, I got out of all politics. I was still a member of the PFP. So I was a member of both of them, and I withdrew from both of them. It just was not appropriate for me.
Okay. And then how do we define a Ramaphosa support? Or how does an external person who's not in the ANC would define a Ramaphosa support?
Well, the people that were claiming this were very long-standing ANC people that said there were factions. So, and it was not just me. I mean, it was getting around everywhere. I mean, that there was this fierce competition it was about, like most politics, it was about controlling resources, I guess, and for some people, idealism with it. It's a mixture. Politics is like that all over the world. I mean, you want to see a book that's written about British politics, how they broke Britain. I mean, it's not just here, the politics of politics.
No, why I'm asking this question is because the way you have framed it on your statement,
right.
you are not appropriating
all right. Okay.
This classification of that conviction to somebody else. You are writing as a first person.
Yeah,
so that's why I'm asking you, because in the statement you are not saying, I was told, I happen to be made aware, or anything of that sort, that therefore the person who was being convicted was a Ramaphosa supporter.
What's his name at top of the hit list? Somebody sent me the hit list that was alleged.
So somebody sent you a hit list, and the title of the hit list was Ramaphosa supporters.
Yeah, the hit list was circulating. It was even, I think, in the media that there was a hit list circulating. But I mean, his name was top of the list, and he got killed, and another one there was an attempted kill, and then they got rid of the municipal manager who was in the wrong political camp. Yeah.
Okay. No, I wanted to understand that because I was a bit unsure what is meant by that, the way it is written on the statement. Thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you, Chief. Honorable Skosan.
Thank you, Chair. I just heard Mr. Haas saying he was a member of PFP and the ANC. Quite interesting. But I wanted to find out, Mrs. De Haas, because you wrote to the National Commissioner in February, and you were so lucky that you wrote a letter to a minister and the minister disbanded the PKTT. Your first letter.
Yeah, I mean, I was astonished. I hadn't
Okay.
expected it.
Yeah, hence I don't want you to go there because remember we went about being decisive and you remember. Let's not go there. Now, why were you so pushing? What was your interest in this matter? Why were you involved in the police operational matters? What was your interest in all this issue of the police? And who's funding you? I'm just now trying to find out from you because I hear you talking about resources and what. Who's funding you, Mr.
Nobody's
Haas?
funding me. Nobody has funded me since 2005, apart from whatever I get for writing academic articles that gets some money put into my research code that can only be used for academic activities. No one has funded me since 2005. That's the first thing. What drives me? Well, I don't know why it sounds so strange. I have a passion for justice because I deal with people day in, day out. All they want is justice and they're not getting it.
Now,
That's what's driving me, not the money. I'm paying myself for this. I'm risking my life for it.
So are you not working with any NGO or any civil society?
No, I'm not. I'm not a member of any of them at all. I mean,
No.
I have I don't really work with any of them. The only people I'm in is a Navi Pillay research group, I'm not teaching. I am part of being an honorary research fellow because I write academic stuff.
Yes, but my question is this. Are you not working with any NGO on your research? You are funding yourself.
No, I'm not. I'm independent.
Yes.
Completely independent.
So there's no one who's funding any of your work.
I'm not a member of, hang on a minute, let me just think. Nothing to do with NPOs. I mean, I interact with the local Amnesty International group because I've known them all for years. Okay. Who else? I mean, it's one thing to support people in an NPO, but I'm not involved in it.
Let me put it this way to you. Are you comfortable for your gadgets to be taken from you?
No, I'm not, because there's private information on that.
No, we will apply. We know how to do it. We will get a court order.
But how dare you? I'm a private person. How dare you do this to me?
No, I'm asking. I'm asking. I'm not saying I'm going to do that.
No.
I'm saying, are you comfortable that
Of course I am,
if
because
the police have to take your gadgets like any other one, because there's probing in here. So my question, I'm saying, are you comfortable?
I'm not comfortable because it's private. It's private family issues.
I understand that. And since I'm asking you, my follow-up question was simple. And you still did not respond on my question. I ask you, why are you involving yourself on police operational matters?
I've told you that because I care about justice. I care about people. One death is too much.
No,
I care about people.
All of us, we care.
I must apologize for that.
Okay,
Please,
yeah.
may I ask this turning into a witch hunt of me?
No, let me.
And I'm objecting and I'm putting it on record.
Let me help you, both of you. Honorable Skosana and Dr. Haas, the witnesses that appear before the committee are not suspects.
Yes.
That is the principle that we must always reiterate. And I don't think that it's fair, Honorable Skosana, to go to an extent of telling the witness that we know the procedure that we must follow in case we must apply for your gadgets to be confiscated from you or to be seized from you because we are probing. I mean, she's not a suspect. Let's have a conversation with her.
Thank you, Chair. Hence, I was saying to her, it was a question. I've never said we are going to do that. Because remember, Chair, that was a follow-up question to say, why was he pushing so hard? What was the interest? Who's funding her? Other questions she answered me. But my follow-up question, why she did not answer me, it's not personal, as I said, Mr. Haas.
What am I not answering?
No, my question was simple. You said because you care, 1/3 is too much. All of us here, 1/3, hence we are here. It's not only you. This privilege which we are talking about is not only exclusive to you.
Didn't say it was, did I?
Yeah. Now I'm saying to you, it's not a threat. I was just asking whether are you comfortable, because you said it's illegal. We can't do this. We can't. So I said to you, because I'm a lawmaker, I know if your gadget has to be taken, what must happen? I'm not a policeman. I'm not going to do that. But I'm saying to you, honestly speaking, your involvement is suspicious in the whole matter. Hence, I'm asking this for follow-up question. That you wrote one letter, the minister disbanded PKTT, and then you made a follow-up letter to the National Commissioner. Why was he not implementing it? Hence, I'm asking you, what was your interest?
Because it was a perfectly legal letter. I can't, as I said, I can't take responsibility. I had no idea that it would act this way. So how can you attribute blame to me for it? I mean, I didn't expect it. I've explained that. He did it. I can't help it if he took what I said into consideration. It's not my fault. I can't control how the minister handles. So
Thank you so much.
yeah, I've tried to explain this.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you.
You were very lucky. You were very privileged, I must say. Thank you, Chair.
Matthews.
Thank you. Just quickly, the letter that you wrote to the minister, Ms. Diaz, did anybody advise you on what to write in the letter? Was it the letter reviewed by anybody before you sent it to the minister? Because the wording, and we're asking that and it's the follow-up, is pretty much the same wording that the minister used in his letter of disbandment. And it also has information in there that I would have thought you wouldn't have been privy to, like the murder and robbery unit, etc. So the question is pretty much, did you write the letter on your own? You didn't have a discussion with anybody about it? No?
No,
Is that a
what
no?
I did
Okay, it's no, then that's fine.
I'll tell you what I did. I wrote the letter myself. I write my own letters.
Yeah.
The only letters I run past people are...
Okay, but did you just ask whether this one, did you run it past anybody? Yeah.
And I'm not sure what you mean about the information. The only thing I do is to, when I write letters for people, I don't know that I could have in this, it wasn't easy, but whenever I write letters for people, I get their permission and I give them a copy of it.
So
But
on
I
this
wrote it
letter,
myself.
Ms. Diaz, did you say you wrote it and a draft? Did you send it to anybody to give input or
No.
review it? So it was just you and the information that you had and you sent it through. Thank you.
Thank you so much, honorable members. Doctor, let me just run 2 or 3 questions with honorable Sean.